Most people think being an empath is a gift, but what if it is actually a trap in disguise? A beautiful illusion that keeps you stuck in emotional cycles, because feeling deeply is not the same as awakening, and many never move beyond absorbing other people's pain. They confuse sensitivity with growth, and they never question why they are always drained, why they attract the same toxic patterns again and again. This is where the journey truly begins, the uncomfortable realization that something is missing, that awareness is calling you to go deeper, and not everyone is ready to answer. You see, according to thinkers like Carl Jung, true transformation begins when you face what is hidden within you, not just what you feel from others, but what you avoid inside yourself, because empathy without self-awareness becomes self-destruction. You keep giving without understanding your own wounds, and slowly, your identity becomes blurred. You don't know where you end and others begin, and that confusion keeps you stuck. This is why many empaths remain in emotional chaos. They never cross into true consciousness. They never reach what we call the Sophia stage. The Sophia stage is not about being kind or emotional. It is about wisdom, clarity, and deep inner knowing. It is the stage where you stop reacting blindly and start observing your thoughts and emotions. But here is the hard truth. Most people are afraid of this level of awareness because it forces you to see your own darkness, your hidden motives, your insecurities, your fears, and that is not comfortable at all. So instead of evolving, they stay where it feels safe, even if that safety is slowly destroying them. And that is the silent tragedy of many empaths. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you felt overwhelmed by others? How many times have you ignored your own needs just to keep peace or avoid conflict? How often do you feel misunderstood, like no one truly sees the depth within you? This is not random. This is a pattern, and patterns are messages from your unconscious mind, trying to get your attention. But if you don't listen, you remain stuck in the same loop. This video is not here to comfort you. It is here to wake you up, to challenge how you see yourself, and to push you towards something deeper. Because awakening is not soft and easy. It is raw, confronting, and sometimes painful. But it is also the only path to true freedom. So if you are ready to go beyond surface-level empathy and step into real transformation, then stay with me until the end, because what you are about to realize might change how you see everything. The first sign of awakening is discomfort. You begin to feel uneasy with your old habits. Things that once felt normal now feel draining. You question your relationships, your environment, your choices. This discomfort is not a problem. It is a signal that your consciousness is expanding. You are outgrowing your old identity. But many empaths resist this stage. They try to hold on to what is familiar, even when it is hurting them. And that resistance keeps them stuck, far from the Sophia stage. The second sign is becoming aware of your shadow, a concept deeply explored by Carl Jung. Your shadow is the part of you you try to hide. Your anger, jealousy, insecurity, fear. Awakening forces you to face these parts. Not to judge them, but to understand them, because what you reject controls you, and what you accept transforms you. But many empaths avoid this completely. They want to stay good and pure, and in doing so, they remain unconscious, trapped in a false version of themselves. Another sign is emotional detachment, not coldness, but clarity. You begin to feel emotions without being controlled by them. You observe instead of react. You pause instead of explode. This is where true power begins, but it feels strange at first, because you are used to being overwhelmed. You are used to chaos, so calmness feels unfamiliar, and many people run back to emotional drama because it feels like home. You also start questioning everything, your beliefs, your upbringing, your identity. You realize that many things you accepted as truth were never really yours. They were inherited, absorbed, or imposed. This realization can be unsettling because it shakes your foundation, but it is necessary for growth, because you cannot awaken while living someone else's script. And this is where individuation begins, the process of becoming your true self. Another powerful sign is solitude. You feel the need to be alone more often, not because you hate people, but because you need space to hear yourself. The noise of the world becomes overwhelming, and silence becomes your teacher. But many empaths fear loneliness, so they keep surrounding themselves with distractions, never giving themselves time to reflect. And without reflection, there is no transformation, only repetition. You begin to notice patterns in your relationships, your thoughts, your emotions. You see how you attract certain types of people, how you react in similar ways, how your past keeps repeating itself. This awareness is powerful because it gives you the chance to change, but it also comes with responsibility. You can no longer blame others. You have to face your role in your own suffering, and that is where many people stop, because accountability is uncomfortable. Another sign is emotional boundaries. You stop absorbing everything around you. You learn to say no without guilt. You protect your energy, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. This is where empaths begin to evolve, from emotional sponges into conscious individuals. But this shift can feel harsh, because people will not understand your change, and some will even resist it. You also develop inner stillness, a quiet strength within you. You are less reactive, less desperate for validation. You don't need constant approval, because you start trusting yourself. This is a major shift, because your identity is no longer external, it becomes internal. And that is where true confidence is born, not from ego, but from awareness. Another key sign is facing fear directly. Instead of avoiding it, you start doing the things that scare you, speaking your truth, setting boundaries, walking away. You realize that fear is not your enemy, it is a guide, pointing you toward growth. But most people run from fear, and in doing so, they run from their own evolution. They choose comfort over transformation and remain stuck. Finally, you begin to understand yourself deeply, your triggers, your desires, your patterns. You become aware of your unconscious mind and how it shapes your reality. This is where real awakening happens, not in spiritual quotes or surface-level ideas, but in deep self-understanding. And this is what leads to the Sophia stage, a state of wisdom, clarity, and inner alignment. But very few reach this point, because it requires courage, discipline, and honesty. Now here is the truth most people will never accept. Awakening is not for everyone, because it demands too much from you. It asks you to let go of illusions, to face uncomfortable truths, to take full responsibility for your life. And most people would rather stay asleep, because it feels easier, even if it slowly destroys them. And that is why many empaths never evolve. They remain stuck in emotional cycles, never reaching true wisdom. The Sophia stage is not about being special. It is about being real, seeing life clearly without distortion, understanding yourself deeply, and acting with awareness. It is a level of consciousness, not an identity you can fake, and it cannot be achieved through shortcuts. It requires inner work, consistent reflection, and brutal honesty with yourself. And that is why it is rare. You have to understand something important. No one is coming to save you. No external force will do this work for you. This is your journey, your responsibility, your transformation. And the moment you truly accept this, everything begins to change, because you stop waiting and start acting. You stop blaming and start evolving. There will be moments of doubt, moments where you feel lost, moments where you question everything. This is part of the process. It is not a sign you are failing. It is a sign you are growing, because growth is not comfortable. It stretches you, it challenges you, it forces you to become more, and if you embrace it, it will transform you completely. But if you ignore this path, if you keep running from yourself, if you stay trapped in emotional patterns, nothing will change. You will repeat the same cycles, meet the same people, feel the same pain over and over again, until you decide to wake up, and that decision is yours alone. No one can make it for you. So ask yourself honestly, are you truly awakening, or are you just comfortable being an empath, absorbing everything without understanding yourself? Are you growing, or just repeating patterns? Are you conscious, or just reacting? These questions are not easy, but they are necessary, because awareness begins with questioning, and questioning leads to truth. The journey to the Sophia stage is not easy, but it is worth it, because it leads to freedom, clarity, and inner peace. It allows you to live consciously, not reactively, to create your life instead of being controlled by it. And that is the ultimate transformation, not changing the world, but changing yourself from the inside out. And now, I want to hear from you. What did you realize about yourself while watching this? What patterns did you notice? What truth did you avoid before now? Drop it in the comments below, because your awareness might help someone else awaken. And if this video made you think deeply, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs this message, because sometimes one realization can change everything. Make sure you like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more deep insights like this, because this is just the beginning. There is so much more to uncover about yourself, your mind, your reality, and the deeper you go, the more powerful you become. Not in ego, but in awareness, and that is the true power that most people never reach. Remember this, awakening is not a destination. It is a continuous process, a daily choice to be aware, to be honest, to grow, and to evolve. And the moment you stop choosing it, you fall back into unconsciousness. So stay aware and keep moving forward, because in the end, the greatest transformation is not becoming someone new. It is finally becoming who you truly are.